All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another Throwback Tunes on another Thursday, and I am reviewing, I'm gonna butcher this name here, CrazyNDaKazDayz by the Club of Thugs of 3 6 Mafia. So it's weird. I guess the 3 6 Mafia had another gang or another group or another stable within the 3 6 Mafia, or that the 3 6 Mafia is a part of. I have no clue. But these members consist of DJ Paul, Lord Infamous, and Juicy J. And this joint came out February 2nd of 1999, and the entire albums were recorded from 1998 to 1999 under Hypnotized Minds / Relativity. So that's interesting. And by the way, they Hypnotized Minds no longer in business, and Relativity Records. So there you go with that. And also Red. I don't know what Red is. Red Music, formerly Red Distribution. So that's interesting as well. The producers involved were DJ Paul, who was the executive producer, as was Juicy J, and of course Mannie for the obvious reason. So there you go with that. Now, there are a grand total. Oh, before we get on with the track, let me give you the chart. So this album was 18th on the US Billboard 200 chart and number 4 on the US Top R&B / Hip Hop Albums charts, and it was certified gold, selling around 500,000 copies. Now, let's get on with the tracks. So there's 24 tracks on this album, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 skits. So either way, I can give you guys the top 5 and not a top 3. So here we go. The first track off this album is called CrazyNDaKazDayz, and that's obviously the skit, followed by Who the Crunk Is featuring Project Pat. Next up is Smoked Out featuring Twista, followed by I'm Losing It, which was only performed by Lord Infamous. Track number 5 is called Throw Your Sets featuring Crucial Conflict, followed by Undercover Freaks featuring Too Short and T-Rock. Next up is Wet Party featuring Spice One and M Child, followed by Elbow a Nigga. Next up is Hell No, followed by Get Buck Get Raw featuring Crunchy Black. Track number 11 is called On the Block, which is a skit, followed by What You Looking, without the G but with the apostrophe, What You Looking For featuring Project Pat. Track number 13 is called Paper Chase featuring Hussein Fatal, followed by, oh my gosh, one of my all-time favorite songs ever, Hypnotized Cash Money featuring BG Juvenile, Lil Wayne Tuck aka the Hot Boys, and Birdman, and of course Mannie Fresh co-produced this track, by the way, obviously. Track number 15 is called When God Calls Time Out featuring Perform Rather by Lord Infamous, followed by Business. Track number 17 is called When It's On Its Mother, which is a skit. Next up is Push 'Em Off, which is actually the first single off this album. Oh, Hypnotized Cash Money is the second, by the way. Next up is Slop on My Knob. Some of y'all may be familiar with that track. Next up is All Dirty Hoes featuring Gangsta Boo, which is a funny track in my opinion. We'll get more on that later. Track number 21 is called 666 Clubhouse, performed by Lord Infamous, followed by A Nigga's Worst Downfall. Next up is Hypnotized Minds / Prophet Posse featuring, oh my gosh, look at these names, Koopa Nika, K-N-I-C-C-A, Koopsta Nika, Crunchy Black, MC Mac, Scan Man, that's new, and Project Pat. And then the last track is Coming, without the G but with the apostrophe, Coming Up Next, and that's basically the outro. That's another skit. So not much info on these two singles. The only thing I can tell you is that Hypnotized Cash Money peaked at 74th on the Hot R&B / Hip Hop Songs charts and at 64th on the R&B / Hip Hop Airplay charts in the US. And both singles, Hypnotized Cash Money and Push 'Em Off, have music videos, and they both came out in 1999. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And you can find both videos on YouTube. I highly recommend checking out. You check out rather Hypnotized Cash Money, because the radio version, even though you couldn't necessarily call the video version the radio version, but the radio version is much better. It's hyper than the album version, but the album version is still cool nevertheless. All right, so let me give you guys my best tracks off this album from worst to first. Get Buck Get Roused, the worst track off this album. The tempo is cool, the melody is cool, and then everything else was just straight. So we're talking with the bass, the kick, and the snare, and the whole track was pretty much straight. So that's really the worst track off this album. 666 Clubhouse was cool. The tempo is really cool. The melody is cool. Same with the bass and the kick. The snare was just straight. Overall, the track is cool. I'm Losing It is next. The tempo is really cool. The melody is cool. Same with the kick, snare. and bass. Overall, the track was just cool. Next up is Hell No. The tempo is cool / really cool. The melody is cool, the bass is cool, the kick is really cool, the snare is cool, overall the track is cool. Then we got Smoked Out. The tempo is cool, melody is really cool, the 808s are really cool. The snare is cool, overall the track is cool. Then we got When God Calls Time Out. The tempo is really cool, same with the melody, the synth bass is cool, the kick is cool, same with the snare, overall the track is cool. Big Business. The tempo is really cool, melody is cool, same with the bass and the kick, the snare is really cool though, and overall the track was just cool. Then we got A Nigga's Worst Downfall. The tempo is really cool, the melody is really cool, bass is cool, followed by the kick and the snare, overall the track is cool. Then we got what I consider to be the most unique track off of this entire album, and possibly one of the most unique tracks I ever heard, and that's Push 'Em Off, which is the first single. The tempo is excellent, the melody doing the hook, so there's like two different melodies here. The melody doing the hook is cool, but the melody doing the verse is really cool. The bass is really cool, but needs more of it. Now here's where things get really unique, really different. There's like 3 different kicks and 2 different snares, and it's crazy. So the kick doing the hook was really cool, and then the 808s doing the verse is really cool, and then like parts of the verse, or rather, and then not parts of the verse, yeah, doing the verse. And then there's this one part where it's like when you go into the hook, and when the hook is about to end and about to go to another verse, there's different kicks that are used there, and that part is really cool. Now the snare doing the verse is really cool. The snare doing the hook is cool. There are percussions involved, and they are just cool. Overall, the track is really cool, very unique, if I do say so myself. Next up is Elbow Nigga. The title does not match the beat. When you see the title Elbow Nigga, you think this is going to be a hype track right here. That's not the case here. The title does not match this beat. But despite that, the tempo is really cool, the melody is cool, it needs a bass though, the kick is really cool, the snare is cool, the percussions are really cool. Overall, the track is really cool, but the lack of a bass hurts this one. Next up is Wet Party. Tempo is really cool, the melody is really cool, the bass is straight, it needs to bang more. The kick is really cool, snare is really cool, but despite the bass issue, the track is still really cool nevertheless. What you looking for? The drum pattern is really cool, the tempo is really cool, melody is really cool, same with the bass, the kick is cool, snare is cool, overall the track is cool. Then we got Throw Your Sets. Tempo is really cool, the melody is excellent, the bass is straight, needs more of it and it needs to bang. The kick is really cool, same with the snare, overall the track is really cool. Then we got Hypnotized Mind / Prophet Posse. The tempo is excellent, the melody is really cool, the bass is cool, the kick is really cool, snare is really cool, overall the track is really cool. Then we got Undercover Freaks. This is a smooth track right here. The tempo is cool. It's like borderline cool / really cool. It's borderline in that area. The melody is excellent though. The bass is really cool. The kick is cool. The snare is really cool. Overall, the track is really cool. Now I can give you guys my top 5 tracks off this album, with number 1 should be pretty obvious. The 5th best track off this album is Paper Chase. The tempo is really cool. The melody is excellent. The bass is really cool. Kick is really cool. The snare is cool. Overall, the track is really cool. Next up, Who the Crunk Is. This is a hype track right here. The tempo rather is really cool. The melody is, you guessed it, excellent. The 808s are cool. The snare is really cool. Overall, the track is really cool. The 3rd best track off this album, All Dirty Hoes. The tempo is excellent. The melody is really cool. The bass is cool. Kick is really cool. The snare is really cool. The track is really cool as the tempo carries this beat, but oh my gosh, they should not add these stupid moans in this track. Like, oh my gosh. That is so distracting. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But despite the female moans in this joint, this track is really cool nevertheless. But take the moans out. 2nd best track off this album, Slob on My Knob. The tempo is really cool. The melody is excellent. Same with the bass. The kick is really cool. Snare is really cool. Overall, the track is really cool. And the number 1 track on this album is Hypnotized Cash Money. This is one of my all-time favorite songs right here. The tempo is excellent. The melody is excellent. The bass is cool. The kick is excellent. The snare is excellent. This entire track is excellent. This is the first time I said that about a track in an extremely long time. It is really amazing. Hypnotized Cash Money is without question the best track off this album. And I had to think about this, but this is arguably the best hype song ever. I mean, now, I know there's like In My Hood by, I forgot that dude's name, he's a Detroiter too. But like, the only way I can consider that really hyping that is if you turn the tempo up. Like, if you listen to the club version of that song. But aside from that, if you would listen to it as is, without any edits or without any club influences, Hypnotized Cash Money is, in my opinion, and I need to think about this, but at this point in time, the best hype song ever. All right, let's get on with some professional ratings. All Music gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B-. So what do I think about this? Woo, you know what? I'm gonna have to say this is a 4.75 out of 5. I highly recommend you go out and get a physical copy of this album. Oh my gosh, that Hypnotized Cash Money is extremely dope. Slob on My Knob is really cool. All Diddy Hoes really cool. Who the Crunk's really cool. They got a lot of cool tracks here. And really, they used the tempo really well. And they picked out some really good melodies. The only thing is they could have done a better job with the bass. That's the only downfall about this album. Like, they could have made a number of these tracks bang more, in my opinion. If they did that, this would have been a straight up 5 out of 5. And it would have been extremely dope. So yeah, 4.75 out of 5. Get a physical copy of this album as I hit my mic. But yeah, there you go with that, and I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.